know on the Alan Young Show.
It's Friday again. And as usual, we take you to the Little White Cottage in Van Nuys, California, where we find the star of our show, that young man who is young today and young forever, Alan Young. Since the veteran housing problem is a responsibility of every citizen, every person who has a spare room should consider renting it to a veteran. So Alan Young has decided to do his bit. As we join him now, he's busy making room in his house for an ex-serviceman.
Come on, Zero. We've got to clear all this stuff out of the spare room.
Yeah, okay, Alan.
Let's see. You better move this bed out first. Huh?
Yeah.
Give me a hand, Zero. I'll bend down and you push it on my back.
Okay, Alan.
I'm bending down.
Okay.
I get it. Get my back. Now I'll carry it in the other room.
Yep.
Now I'll set it down.
Yep.
That takes care of the pillow. Better clear some of this other stuff out now, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Alan, I wonder what kind of a veteran is going to use this room.
Well, what difference does that make?
Well, if it's a sailor, maybe we ought to put in some portholes. And if it's a soldier, maybe we ought to put up some khaki wallpaper.
Well, what if it's a wave or a whack?
Then we can enlarge the keyhole.
Zero, another crack like that and I'll hide your bottle opener.
Oh, no, not that.
Besides, when I called the housing center, I didn't specify any particular branch of the service.
Well, that's... Wait a minute. You called the housing center? You told me to call them.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, gee. Now they'll be sending 2 of them over. 2.
Well, Alan, we'll have them double up.
I don't want veterans to have to double up. Suppose they were both paratroopers. They'd be pulling each other's pajama strings all night. I can take 1. I guess I can take 2. Yeah, there's the bell. I'll see who it is, Zero. Don't relax now.
Okay, Alan.
Maybe one of the fellas now.
Hello, Alan.
Oh, well, hi, Betty. I've been busy all morning cleaning up the spare room.
You certainly look cute in that apron and cap.
Yeah. I guess I do at that. Like I'm still red from when the milkman pinched me. Never knew what these housewives have to go through. Well, come on in, Betty.
Thanks, Alan. Oh, and I brought over a surprise. Look what I've got with me.
Well, I'll be darned. Hello, Mr. Ditton Pepper.
Alan, this is bearskin rug, and you know it.
Bearskin rug? Betty, what'd you bring that over for?
Well, this rug is Daddy's prized possession, and he's so pleased with you for taking in a veteran, he wants to contribute this for your spare room.
Gee, that is a beautiful rug.
Daddy shot the bear himself.
Huh?
I'll never forget that day. Daddy got up at 6 a.m, put on his hunting outfit, loaded his gun, and left the house. And then when he couldn't find you, he shot the bear.
Don't say it like that, Betty. He was just calling for me to go hunting with him. I think.
Oh, come on, Alan. Let's put the rug in your spare room.
Oh, it's in the back, Betty. Just follow me this way through the kitchen. Place is not tidied up yet at all.
Oh, Alan, you certainly can tell that only men live here. Mm-hmm. The way the dishes are piled up. Why, there must be 100 dishes in that sink.
Yes, Betty?
Well, anyway, I'm glad I don't see any dirty silverware. By the way, Alan, where is your silverware?
Under the dirty dishes. Here, I'll lead the way, Betty. Yeah, well, what do you think of the spare room now?
Well, let's see. First thing you ought to do is take down those pin-up pictures.
We just put them up.
Oh, Alan, I better explain something to you.
Yeah?
When men are in the Army, they like to see pictures of girls in bathing suits and sarongs. But when they become civilians again, they don't care about things like that.
Sit down, kid.
Well, anyway, Alan, Daddy's bearskin rug really seems to fit in this room.
Yeah, it sure does, huh?
You know, Alan, someday we'll decorate our own house together.
Well?
Mm-hmm. After a year or so, we'll have to put pink and blue wallpaper in one room. And on the wallpaper, there'll be cute little figures and funny little sayings. And you know what that means, Alan.
Kilroy was here?
Oh, Alan, be serious. After after we're married, don't you want to hear soft cooing in the next room?
If you don't mind, Betty, I'd rather keep the pigeons on the roof.
Oh, Alan, why don't you be serious?
Betty, let's talk about something else, huh?
Well, the spare room certainly looks much better now. Oh, by the way, I know how forgetful you are, so I called the housing center and asked them to send a veteran over.
But Betty, I called up and Zero called up. We've already got 2.
Oh, Alan, I'm sorry.
Well, if we can take care of 2, I guess we can take care of 3.
Yeah. Well, I'd better run along now, and I'll tell Daddy not to worry about the rug.
Okay, Betty.
You've got work to do, so don't bother showing me the door. Bye.
Bye, Betty.
Bye, Zero.
So on, Mr. Pepper.
Zero.
Yeah, Alan.
Guess what's happened? Betty called up the housing center for a veteran, too.
No kidding.
That means 3 extra people.
Oh.
The beds are taken, the couch is taken. I'll have to sleep in a chair. Zero, the only place left for you to sleep is the refrigerator.
Well, that's okay with me, Alan. That's my idea of heaven. I can turn over in me sleep and grab a bottle of beer at the same time.
We'll do our best to make them feel at home.
Yeah.
Come in.
Pardon me, does Alan Young live here?
That's right. You were sent over here from the
Veterans Housing Center.
Yes, well, come on in.
Thanks. My name is Bill Cooper.
Bill Cooper, glad to meet you, Bill. My name is Alan. Make yourself right at home.
Thanks.
Things might be a little crowded, Bill. You see, besides you, I'm expecting some more veterans.
Yes, I know. They'll be over in a little while. Oh, and speaking for all of us, I want to say it's swell of you, Mr. Young.
Forget it.
We hope we're not causing you any trouble.
Trouble.
Besides the fellows you're expecting, Hubert Updike and Mr. Dittenpepper sent over 2 more. Are you sure that you can take care of all 5 of us? Well, goodbye, Mr. Young. We'll be back with our things tonight. And, gee, thanks again.
Zero.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have to put up 5 veterans.
Holy smoke. Where are we all going to sleep?
Only one thing you do, Zero. We'll hang up our coats and pants in the closet tonight.
Well, how is hanging up our coats and pants going to solve the sleeping problem?
Zero, we're going to be in them.
Say, friends, if you want the real facts, the truth about your teeth, get it from only one person, your dentist. And when you ask him the secret of sound, healthy teeth, your dentist may tell you that one of the most important secrets is firm and healthy gums. Chances are, too, that he'll recommend Ipana toothpaste and gum massage. For Ipana, when used with gentle massage, gives our gums the stimulation they need to help keep them firm and healthy. Yes, ask your dentist.
A national survey shows that 7 out of 10 dentists recommend gum massage. Not only that, but dentists themselves prefer Ipana toothpaste 2-to-1 over any other dentifrice for their own personal use.
So for the health of your gums, for sound, bright teeth, a more sparkling smile, why don't you do as so many dentists recommend?
Brush your teeth with Ipana. And every time you do, put a little extra Ipana on your fingertip and gently massage it on your gums.
Try it and see the difference Ipana toothpaste and massage makes to your smile. I-P-A-N-A. Ipana. Well, that old saying, it never rains but it pours, certainly seems to be true. Alan started out to rent his spare room to one ex-serviceman, and right now he's up to his neck in veterans. 5 all told. We find him now searching through the neighborhood in hope finding some rooms for the veterans.
Should find some place for these veterans. I've got such nice neighbors. Hello there, Mrs. Tyler. How Mrs. Meadowbrook? Lovely day today. There's my new neighbor, Lana LaRose. Clothesline of hers always slows me down. What? No time for that now. Gotta find a place for those veterans. Let's see, which one of my neighbors has a big house? Oh, yeah, Mrs. Johnson. Here's the Johnson place now. Hope she can help me. Oh, hello, Mrs. Johnson.
Oh, Alan Young, come in, come in, come in.
Oh, thanks. I have a sort of a problem, Mrs. Johnson. I was wondering if you could help me out.
Well, that's what neighbors are for. You just tell Mrs. Johnson what's bothering you.
Thanks. Well, I asked, but...
Just a minute, the things those kids do. Herbert, get that ink out of your water pistol. And Johnny, go blotch your face. What were you saying, Alan?
Yeah. Well, you see, I asked the...
Danny, stop banging your head against the wall. I don't care if Walter does like the sound.
Yeah. Well, you see, Mrs. Johnson...
Jimmy, stop that. I don't care if you did shave Bruce's head yesterday. Put away that sandpaper.
Mrs. Johnson...
Michael, stop running your bicycle over Albert. It's a bad habit to get into. We're not always going to live in California.
Oh, my gosh, Mrs. Johnson, how many children do you have?
14.
14 children?
Yes, it all started when my husband was a contestant on Break the Bank.
Lucky he wasn't on Double or Nothing. But, Mrs. Johnson, the thing I wanted to talk about was...
By the way, Alan, you could do me a big favor.
Oh, what is it, Mrs. Johnson?
Well, Alan, I heard about your spare room, and I wondered if you could take 3 or 4 kids off my hands.
Oh, well, I'd like to, but a child's place is with his mother. They're such cute youngsters, too, especially little Jimmy right here. Hello, Jimmy. Coochie-coochie-coo. Coochie-coochie-coo.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alan.
That's all right, Mrs. Johnson. You can mail back my thumb anytime.
But getting back to your problem, Alan, what can I do for you?
Oh, nothing, thanks, Mrs. Johnson. You've got your own regiment to worry about. All those kids, 14 of them. I guess the OPA took the ceiling off everything. Oh, well, we'll have to work something else out, I suppose. Must be someplace I can get these veterans. Here comes that filthy rich Hubert Updike. Always showing off with his money, putting on airs. Who else owns a Mexican hairless that wears a toupee? Well, maybe he'll have some extra room.
Oh, Alan, I'm here. Come chase me with your net, for I am a great big butterfly.
Hubert, I'm glad to see you. Look, you called up the housing center and told them to send a veteran over to my house, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, you did, yes. Well, why didn't you have them send an ex-serviceman over to your house?
They were all out of generals. My dear old dad, has 4 stars,
I didn't know your father was a general.
Well, he isn't.
Then how'd he get 4 stars?
He bought them outright from the Griffith Observatory.
Buying a star. Hubert, that's ridiculous. Nobody can own a heavenly body.
Well, how about Betty Grable? Oh, that was a witty one,
Look, Hubert, you have such a big place. You ought to be able to take care of a lot of fellas.
Well, I do, Alan, I do. I've got scads of veterans over at my estate in Bouverly Hool. I try to make them feel right at home.
Well, that's nice, Hubert.
For example, I keep all the veterans from Nebraska in the right wing of my estate.
Why?
Well, that's in Nebraska.
You're always bragging.
Well, why shouldn't I brag? Don't forget my ancestors fought in the Revolutionary War. My great-grandfather was a very brave man.
Hmm?
He played his bugle at the Battle of Bunker Hill.
Well, my great-grandfather was even braver.
What did he do?
He sang the coffee song at the Boston Tea Party.
Oh, Alan, you make me so mad I could Cadillac my teeth.
No, you mean Nash.
We Updikes won't have anything under 12 cylinders.
But getting back to the veterans, I don't have enough room at my house.
Alan, have you thought of putting them up in Mr. Denton Pepper's department store?
Hubert, that's a wonderful idea. You really helped me out.
Well, you can always bank on me. First National, of course.
Of course.
But before I go, I'd like to give you this bottle of champagne so you and the boys can celebrate.
Well, thanks, Hubert. I'll have to get a corkscrew so I can open it.
Open it with a corkscrew? Oh, how vulgar.
Hubert, how do you get your champagne out of the bottle?
I always have a boat built so I can hit it across the bar. Oh. Well, I'll have to run along now, Alan. I'm off to Booberly Hole.
Booberly Hole? I'm off to Denton Pepper.
Daddy, you should see how Alan fixed up a spare room for the veterans.
Alan Young.
Oh, Daddy, you have to give Alan a little credit.
Yeah.
Those veterans didn't have any place to go, and Alan certainly used his head.
If Alan used his head, they got the biggest vacancy in town.
Daddy, what Alan is doing proves he has a wonderful character.
Well, I must admit that he's really doing something sensible for a change.
You mean you'll be nicer to him now?
Yes, and he really seems to deserve it. Come in.
Hello, Betty. Hello, Mr. Ditton Pepper.
Hello, Alan.
Well, Alan, my boy, sit down. Can I get you a drink? Would you like something to eat?
Gee, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Mr. Ditton Pepper.
I feel fine, Alan, my boy. And I want to tell you you're doing a wonderful thing for the community.
Huh?
And as a reward, I'm going to let you sit on the couch tonight and turn the lights down real low.
Well, that's swell of you, Mr. D.
And if you behave yourself, tomorrow night I'll let Betty stay in the room with you.
Betty and me all alone in the room with the lights down low?
That's right. And I'll even leave the house. I'll go to a movie.
You will?
Mm-hmm. Gene Autry's playing in Silver Saddle.
Gee, can I go with you? I mean, can we go with you? But look, I almost forgot what I came over to ask you, Mr. Ditton Pepper.
Well, what's that, my boy?
Well, somehow I'm getting a lot more veterans than I expected, and I wondered maybe if you could let some of them stay in your department store.
Alan, my boy, that's the first thing I thought of. But it's impossible without a housing permit.
It is, huh?
So just make sure... So just make sure you take care of those veterans. Oh, and don't let anything happen to my bearskin rug.
Oh, yes, Mr. Ditton Pepper.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll leave you two alone now. Goodbye, Betty.
Betty, I guess I better go home and try to figure out what to do.
Oh, Alan, you'll think of something. And don't let anyone discourage you.
Well, it's kind of hard when your father doesn't think I have any brains.
Oh, people are always saying things about your brain. But they're only making a mountain out of a molehill.
Thanks, Betty. Well, I'll see you later. Zero.
Hey, I'm over here, Alan.
So what are you doing to the bathroom?
I'm removing the plumbing.
The plumbing?
I'm just turning the bathroom into a bedroom so we can put up those extra veterans. Here, help me take this bathtub in the backyard, Alan.
The bathtub in the backyard? What do we do on Saturday nights?
This is California. Who can see through that fog?
Zero, you can't turn the bathroom into a bedroom. Zero, be careful!
Stop worrying, will you, Alan? All I gotta do is separate these two pipes.
But, Zero, the water isn't shut off. You're liable...
I know what I'm doing.
Zero!
Here it goes.
Zero, the water's gushing all over the room.
Oh, yeah.
It's flooding the place. Up to my ankles. It's up to my knees.
Yeah. Where I used to be saggy, now I'm soggy.
Come on, let's get out of here. Oh, look at my house, Zero. Every room is flooded.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alan.
Now those 5 veterans are homeless, and we're homeless, too. Look, every room is underwater.
Yeah. What are we going to do, Alan?
Only thing I can think of is to put an ad in the paper.
Ad in the paper?
Yeah, house for rent for man who owns a Reynolds pen.
Zero.
Yeah?
How did you get so wet?
I had a little trouble with the tap.
Trouble with the tap? Well, did you have to faucet?
No, it just did itself.
Oh, no, Zero. I made a joke. Faucet.
Believe me, it was no joke. I got soaked.
Oh, look, Zero. I made a play on words, see? Faucet. Tap. Faucet.
You seem to be talking in circles. Can't you talk no plainer?
All right, here's something anybody can understand. Vitalis is great for keeping dry, unruly hair under control.
Well, Dad, I understand. When you talk about Vitalis, you don't have to force it.
You know, sometimes, Zero, sometimes I think you're smarter than you look. But believe me, it doesn't take any forcing to get a fellow to use Vitalis once he's seen the remarkable difference it can make to the appearance of his hair. It's Vitalis and the famous 60-second workout that does the trick, easily and quickly. All you do is put a little Vitalis on your scalp, and for just 50 seconds you rub briskly. And then for 10 seconds you comb. That's all. But what a change. Why, your hair looks well groomed in a natural, masculine way without that plastered down look. What's more, the Vitalis 60-second workout loosens a tight, dry scalp, routes loose dandruff, and helps prevent excessive falling hair. Vitalis is available at drug counters everywhere. So to look your best tomorrow, get a bottle of Vitalis tonight. Now it's time for the Smart Set with 5 minutes more.
Give me 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more. Let me stay in your arms. Here am I begging for only 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more of your charm. All week long I dreamed about our Saturday date. Don't you know that Sunday morning you can sleep late? Give me 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more. Let me stay in your arms. Give me 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more. All week long I dreamed about our Saturday days. Don't you know that Sunday morning you can sleep late? Give me 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more. Let me stay in your arms. Baby, won't you give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes more?
While Alan and Zero were trying to make room in the house for 5 veterans, they broke the water pipes and flooded the entire place. With every room completely flooded, Alan and Zero are afraid to open the doors. As we join them now, they're sitting in the backyard, sadly contemplating Van Nuys' new aquarium.
Gee, look at that house is flooded, Zero. What a mess. Everything in the place must be ruined.
Well, I don't have to worry about my precious belongings, Alan. They all got corks in them.
I just thought of something. Mr. Dittenpepper's bearskin rug is in there. He shot the bear himself. It's his prized possession.
Oh.
When he sees what's happened to that, he'll tear me in half. And there'll be 7 of us looking for a place to live.
Well, look, Alan, don't let Mr. Dittenpepper in the house. I'll go see if I can get a pump to dehydrate this place a little, huh?
Yeah. Hurry back, Zero. My house is wrecked. Veterans won't have any place to sleep. Mr. Dittenpepper will kill me when he sees his rug. I'll lose Betty. Bad luck. Nothing but bad luck. Some people are born under the sign of Aries, the ram. Some are born under Scorpio, the scorpion. Some are born under Taurus, the bull. I must have been born to Elsie, the cow. Maybe I can get that bearskin rug out of the house before Mr.
Alan, my boy.
Oh, Mr. Dittenpepper, just thinking about you.
Something pleasant, I hope.
Yes.
Ellen, I'm glad I arrived here before the veterans. I thought I'd just take a look and see how my bearskin rug brightens up your room.
No, you can't. Don't open the door.
And why not?
Well, I want to show you some card tricks. Yes, card tricks. Real tough card tricks.
Ellen, you haven't even got any cards.
Well, I told you they'd be real tough.
Ellen Young, get out of the way. I'm opening the door.
No. Oh. You must have left the cap off my bottle of 7-Up.
Ellen Young, you tried to drown me.
No, I didn't, Mr. Dittenpepper. It's just that the veterans are plumbing the kitchen and then Zero twisted the wrong bedroom.
Ellen Young, I'll fix your wagon.
Anything you say. I'll break it. You can fix it.
Just look at my suit. My pants are completely out of shape.
Isn't that marvelous? They finally fit you.
Listen, you idiot.
Alan Young.
I'm right here. Here come the veterans. Now what'll I do?
Hello, Mr. Young.
Oh, hello, Bill. Bill, I'd like you to meet Mr. Dittenpepper.
Oh, glad to know you, sir.
How do you do, young man?
Mr. Dittenpepper, you shouldn't have tipped your hat. Bill, I'm sorry, but I won't be able to put up you and your buddies, at least not for a while.
Oh, that's perfectly all right, Mr. Young. Since I talked to you, we've had a lot of offers from the people in the neighborhood.
Huh?
Yes, when the people saw that you were willing to take 5 of us vets into this small house, well, it sort of woke them up. Now we're all taken care of.
Oh, that's swell, Bill. I guess the only ones that are homeless now are Zero and me.
What do you mean, homeless?
My whole place is flooded. Look at that house. Pismo Beach with wallpaper.
Well, gee, why didn't you say so? Me and my buddies were in the engineer corps. Hey, fellas, come on, we've got work to do.
Gee, just look at my house, Zero. Good as new.
Yeah, sure looks good, Alan. Ain't that right, Mr. Dick and Pepper?
Never mind your house. Alan Young, what's happened to my bearskin rug?
Oh, your bearskin rug. Well, it kind of shrunk a little.
Shrunk? Let me have that rug.
Okay, guess which hand?
Young man, you'll never see Betty again. You've ruined my prized possession. I shot that bear with my own hands, and it won first prize at the Van Nuys Athletic Club.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ditton.
Hey, wait a minute, Alan. Look at this bearskin rug. Underneath where the water soaked the lining off. Read what it says.
Manufactured by the Cucamonga Carpet Company. Oh, Mr. Ditton Pepper.
Alan, my boy. We're not going to let a little rug come between us.
Mr. Ditton Pepper, the Van Nuys Athletic Club should hear of this.
Oh, just a moment, my boy.
Such a fraud should be brought to light.
Alan, my boy, how would you like to come over to my house for dinner tonight?
Mr. Ditton Pepper, if you think for one moment that I'm the sort that can be bribed and influenced by favoritism and flattery, why, better make it steak.
Alan Young will be back in just a minute. If you're suffering from a cold right now, listen. Get a really modern chest rub that gives relief to your discomfort fast. Get Minute Rub. And rub Minute Rub on the throat, chest, and back. In a minute, Minute Rub's soothing menthol vapors begin to clear that stuffed-up feeling in the nose and throat. In a minute, Minute Rub starts to bring a feeling of warmth and relief to those tight, sore, aching muscles. And listen. Here at last is a chest rub that's greaseless and stainless. Disappears like vanishing cream and can't stain clothes and bed linens. So get a tube of Minute Rub and get relief from annoying cold misery the modern way. The greaseless, stainless Minute Rub way. And now then, here's Alan.
Thanks, Jimmy. Friends, tonight we had a little fun showing you what happens when vets try to get a place to live. Believe me, it's a pretty serious situation. So won't you all do everything you can to help a veteran find a house, an apartment, or even just a room? Thanks. See you next Friday. Good night.
This is Jimmy Wallington to remind you that Alan Young can now be seen in 20th Century Fox's Margie. The Alan Young radio show is written by Al Schwartz and Sherwood Schwartz. The part of Hubert Updike is played by Jim Backus, and Zero by Charlie Cantor. The music is by George Weil and his orchestra. And remember...
We'll be seeing you next Friday, everybody, everywhere, at this time and on this station with a big hello buyer. With my Pana, my talent, new products you should know on the Alan Young Show.
NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.